He's very slice of life, you know, and that's what, it was a chance for me to work with him, and I'd always wanted to work with him. So it was the first time. Uh, but I'd heard great things. I mean, everybody that I knew that had worked with him said that he's the sweetest guy that you'll meet, and there's a reason why a guy like that is so beloved, because it's not just, you know, he sets the temperature for the set, because everybody sort of feeds off of his good nature, and it's a nice place to work, you know, because it isn't always like that. He's got a really, he really understands human nature, slice of life, what is funny and what isn't, and what's too much and what's just enough to, I don't know. There's a feel good sort of vibe that his movies have that I don't know what the recipe is for, but he seems to have it figured out. You know what? It wasn't so bad actually when we were out there. I mean, it was I believe, well, that's not true. There were some times that were, but the stuff that was outside wasn't too bad. It was unseasonably warm while we were there. I mean, it was snowy outside, so it was meant to feel cold. But you know, that tux was my dad's tux, and the idea was that it was a little bit too big and maybe a little bit dated. The bow tie might have been a little bit too big, uh, but you know, that was my major character choice in this movie. I thought it was pretty ballsy. Over the last several years, I've gone wherever my wife is. They usually have some kind of a gig somewhere, or doing something in Vegas somewhere. So I end up just sort of going and tagging along wherever that is. Nobody's asking me to perform at, you know, the latest club in Vegas. I don't know why, but it's just true. But so that's usually what it is. And I'm the same way. Sometimes I'd rather just stay home, watch it on TV, or I'll go, you know, probably too far, like a lot of people do on New Year's Eve. Well, to be truthful, a lot of the times I'll fall asleep at about 10 and then wake up at about 2 in the morning and it's already over with. So, but I got to say, maybe the best New Year's Eve that I've had was, let's see, it would have been 4 years ago. Right after Katie Heigl and her husband got married, my wife and I just gotten engaged, and we were both at the same resort in Cabo San Lucas. And at the end of the night, we just met them, invited us up to go this tequila bar. We did some shots of tequila. It was New Year's. It was beautiful. It was Mexico. The band had just quit playing, and there's still maybe 40 people lingering around. And her husband gets up and sings a song to her, asks the band if he could turn on the mic and sing Katie a song. And then Katie talks my wife into going up there, and so he jumps back on the drums, and they do an acoustic version of Sublime's Santeria. And I just remember thinking, God, this is so cool, because there's still 40 people just sort of jamming to it. And Katie and I looked at each other, and I was like, well, see, we can't do this. We can't just take our show on the road. What are we going to do? Like recite Shakespeare? Nobody wants to see that. But if, as a musician, you can do that. You can go anywhere and you know, go play.